righty.
What's up, MBA squad? It's your girl Tiara on the Madam Boss Lady channel, and we have flew across the world to LaHarve France. Come and check this trip out. We are out here doing what we do, making life happen in LaHarve France. Make sure that you subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell for future videos. And if you have any questions that you want me to answer, feel free to put them in the comments. I will get right at them. Enjoy the video. Art says this must be a museum. Oh, the salon. How cute. Yeah, it's nice. So this is probably going to be the closest we get to the Eiffel Tower, which sucks. Okay, what is this that they're down here doing? Mean mugging. I guess she didn't want to be recorded. Too late. Oh. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, bruh. Oh, adorable. So, quite naturally, on this trip, we were trying to find something to do. We were able to go inside the churches. A lot of these churches were not letting people in because this is like a little tourist town or whatnot. But you were supposed to be respectful and not make so much noise. This is the reason why there was no noise being made. That's just out of respect, I'm assuming. But we were basically forced to find something to do as we docked in this town, and not knowing much about LaHarve, we just kind of walked around and observed the landscape and the architecture and whatnot. Now, I would normally try to find my way to a museum. It's always interesting to me to see what people put in their museums and the stories behind the things they have. However, we didn't have that type of time, and we didn't really find a museum that was open to us. So we kind of just walked around the churches and the cathedrals, to observe how different they are than the churches that I grew up in. And clearly, this one is a Catholic cathedral, and I didn't grow up Catholic. So this is different from what I've seen in my church. Now, I can't remember what time of day this was. I think it was right around noonday, maybe one. And we didn't encounter a lot of people. So we don't know how they interact with tourists, or if they interact with tourists, how they feel about us. You know how sometimes you go traveling and you say, oh, I didn't like it because, or I did like it because the people were friendly. We didn't have those interactions. We barely even spoke to anyone. And again, I don't remember if I did or will make reference to this, but we were about 2.5 hours away from the Eiffel Tower. And I was extremely annoyed because I wanted to go to the Eiffel Tower, but it was not available. It was too far away. Before we would get on transit to get there and come back, we would miss our check-in time. So I didn't risk it just to come all the way across the world and not get to go to the Eiffel Tower. Was a big disappointment, but it was one of those things that I would have to chalk up and try it again another time. Now, I wanted to touch on the fact that this was just, I think that they were kind of under construction. I'm sure that they don't have that net there the entire time when they're worshiping, but I just wanted to touch on the fact that I think these churches are extremely elaborate. I love it. This is, again, something I'm not used to. I was super fascinated, and it was kind of weird to most people, I'm sure. But yeah, this is something that really is fascinating to me. And when I think about it a little further, I'm thinking maybe it wasn't construction. Maybe they were just cleaning. However, we didn't get to see the top of the church and all of the art that they have on the ceilings of these churches because of the net. And I'm not exactly sure why, but yeah, I wasn't able to display that. But again, better luck next time, huh? Now, part of my fascination is the materials that they used and how polished it was, how who thought to put columns there that would last for centuries and centuries? I don't know how old this church is, but it's amazing to me that somebody many of hundreds of years ago had the insight to use this material to last this long in this spot. Like it that's the part that fascinates me. Look at the ground. I know this is not a new construction. I know that it's been there for probably centuries, but it's always fascinating to me to see how they built, how well they built, and they built it to last. Like somebody had that insight. That's simply amazing. Now, I can just imagine some of the events they might have in a church like this, like a wedding or some type of a celebration. I can just imagine trying to decorate, or I don't know. It just seems like it's such a big event type of place, along with how blessed you must be able to come to this sanctuary each Sunday and worship. I'm impressed. And I do see how they have the history on the placards behind us. And I did not indulge in that simply because I'm sure I can look this up online somewhere and see the history and all the ins and outs of how this cathedral was put together, and be able to enjoy it that way. However, we were pressed for time, so we had to move on to the next spot and enjoy what we could when we could.
You got a little park here for the trailer. Right? Something like a little ass car.
Okay, I done got off the ship twice in France. 2 times. And no Eiffel Tower nowhere. Y'all better take me where I'm supposed to be. First of all, I thought that's where I was coming, to Paris. And I'm in LaHarve. Don't ask me to be able to say that right, because I don't know how to say it. But that's not Paris. I done came all the way across the world, and I can't even get to Paris. Somebody got to answer to this. Now, we did make it to see the Notre Dame in France. I ain't in that. I'm not Catholic. I don't know nothing about all that. All I'm saying is it was beautiful on the inside, as you guys have seen the pictures. Super, super nice. And we're just gonna come around here to the St. Joseph, I guess, Cathedral. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. All I know is I want to hit all the live spots so I can say I was there, see what they're talking about, why is it so prestigious in these towns. Because the Notre Dame was really, like, the architecture on the inside was really nice. Now, I know that's not the big Notre Dame, but, because I know that had to burn down. But, isn't it nice to be able to have gone to check things out? I wasn't at home sitting around twiddling my thumbs, y'all. I'm out in the world. All right, so you can open up the doors to your suite, but you can't walk out. I guess it's just to get some air. Some people can walk out, but the top ones cannot. Don't try it. Wonder if this is where this originated. This seems calm enough. Just a nice breeze going down here. What are you saying?
I haven't seen a pickup truck yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's a nice breeze walking this direction. I guess you could consider this a quiet, calm town. This is nothing like London. London was bustling and fast-paced and everything else. This is just kind of a mind your business kind of town. Everybody's just existing around here, which is not bad. I think every place that we go has like a main drag, and then everything outside the main drag is just, yeah, nothing. Like, I don't want to say, I mean, they put a lot of effort into those 1 or 2 streets, and then you have like the next couple of streets over. I don't know what I expect, but I guess if I was mayor or something about some of these towns, I wouldn't waste my energy on that. It takes a bunch of effort. So we were kind of, talking about how there's no pickup. So we're in each city that we go to that has cars, because all of them are not really driving cities. We kind of look at which cars are popular and what people are buying. And what we've seen this far is that the cars keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm sure that's by design. America's the only place that has bigger is better. Most of the places that we go, especially in Holland, had so many bikes. I'm talking lots of bikes. So, as far as I'm concerned, being in America, we should pick up that trend. And here we are with a Fiat in the back and the Mini Cooper in the front. And to be honest, they're kind of big compared to this Ford Fiesta, which is really weird all the time seeing a domestic car in the foreign lands. Yeah, so this is like the biggest, I don't know, one of their biggest passenger cars. But yeah, we said in the last video how we discovered Peugeot. I remember my brother coming back from Germany in the military in the 80s, and he was driving a Peugeot, which was super huge to us back then. It's like, oh, he's got so much money. He's I don't know if that's really meaning that you have money, but back then, shoot, we thought our brother had cash. He probably did, we don't know. But yeah, he's the first one who introduced me to Peugeot. Now here's what is this class? Class A considered class? I don't know, over here. It's an RV. Anywhere you go. And this is the first one I've seen so far. Like, I'm looking at the cars, and looking at the emblems and the names and how small they are. And honestly, yeah, I haven't seen an RV. That's the first one, I think.
Where we going? Just walking straight up?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the St. Joseph. But yeah, the landscape, you know, I'm gonna say this is a plus because there's not a lot of trash. It's dog friendly. They could do a little bit more landscaping, but am I complaining? Absolutely not. 'Cause I'm not helping, so I'm not complaining. But I will say that it's just peaceful.
We're
And
going Maserati.
honestly,
Next to the little,
okay. Okay. We found a Maserati here in France. Yeah, it's really nice. I guess luxury is still luxury, even though it's foreign to us. It's probably domestic to them. I don't know. I don't know where Maserati came from. But I do know that the cars are super, super small the further we go on this trip. So we are actually coming up on the St. Joseph building. Listen, I'm not even gonna front like I know it's St. Joseph. I'm assuming it's a church or some type of museum. I have no clue what it is, but it's got good architectural value. So, and I happen to know that these cities are really, really, really old compared to where I live in Indianapolis. These cities are, feels like centuries older. Well, not particularly this one, but y'all know what I mean. Okay, so we have stumbled upon the landmark we were looking for. Okay, hey. This is nice. So, yeah, this right here, of course, just even being able to take a picture or a video of a place that has this type of architecture is simply amazing. This is what, even though I don't have a clue what this building, what its history is, it's still amazing to be able to have a picture of a building that is, it looks like this is made with some form of a tile that was handmade. I'm not sure, but it's nothing that we see in the 20th, 21st century. Just doesn't happen. So it looks like it's a Catholic church. Duh. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind is that this church is a lot more modern or feels more modern than the last church. I think it's because the columns are square and not round, is one of the bigger things that I noticed. And the whole entire church is more squared off, whereas the other church had arches and round columns. Now, I'm not sure if that's a period thing, if it was built at a certain era, I'm not sure. But it still fascinates me that everything in the church is the softest material is wood. And in a traditional church, you would have drywall or some form of plaster. But this is all concrete or all stone or something very, very sustainable. I'm also noticing that the actual windows are smaller than the other windows. And when you look up into this tower, it has some form of light, ultimate light at the top. This is very intriguing to me. I can only imagine when the sun is shining on this tower that it's just one of those things that just look amazing. And this is part of the stonework that they're like little pebbles that I was saying before. This could not be something that we do in this century. I really like to think about what the people who were building this building were thinking when they were building it. Did they think it was going to last this long? So we have, I consider this an RV. It's got a sink and a cooker. Can you see it? This is super cute. It's about 12 feet, maybe. But isn't it cute? That's what the second RV we've seen. They don't RV around here, I guess. It's so many places to live. Like they have so many apartments or whatever they call them. And like I was saying earlier, the streets being cobblestone or brick or whatever we calling it, just makes me feel like those are just like some of the oldest of all old towns. So how right am I? Ain't no telling. I'm probably not right at all. But this is how I feel. These cars keep getting smaller and smaller. Look at how small those cars are. I know they're not 8 feet long. That one's probably 6 feet long. The red one. Yeah. It's a pocket car. And what's crazy is I'm not knocking it. I feel like it's probably the smartest move for everybody to get parking. Just stack them on top of each other, like Legos. So, I don't know how to pronounce this name of the street, but I'm gonna tell you, this reminds me a lot of New York. When I went into Harlem, there's not a lot of space to walk or anything like that. But when you look inside the shops, the outsides look kind of terrible, but the insides are gorgeous. And that's exactly how it was in Harlem. The whole place kind of looked ran down for the most part. But then you'll see on the inside that they're like top notch, super, super nice. So this is what it reminds me of. See the outside, and then you see the inside. Like they put a lot of effort into making the insides look great. But if you look at it from the outside, you're not going in. It's kind of different. But I think that's kind of the culture because they don't really have any control over what the landlord does to the outside of the building. But once you go in, it probably is supposed to be your paradise. And I can agree with that. Bathroom break. How cute is this? Here's how you flush the toilet right here. Now this was a really cute little sandwich shop. I love the decor. Look at how adorable they used the wood. That was so cute. Like, oh my God. But yeah, this was kind of relaxing. I had video for this and I was speaking, but they were playing Britney Spears in the background. Okay. Can't be mad at that. But yeah, this was super, super cute. I like the fact that it's not crowded. We don't have to wait in line to be served. And the place looks pretty modern. I think that's amazing. I love the decor. I'll say that again. But now we are headed to the mall. Let's see what they have as far as fashion goes. American restaurant. Who's paying for that? Memphis American restaurant. Okay, I will go to Memphis, but I'm not going all the way to France to eat no American food. Just joking. Frisch's big boy. Hey, big boy. Frisch's has been made it all the way out here. They probably call it something else here. Alrighty, so we're about to go into this, what I think is the mall. I really ain't sure where we're going here. But we are at the docks. And I don't know how to say the names. LaHarve docks. Vauban. Yeah, that's my French. That's as far as we going. But let's see what they got in here. Now that's snazzy right there. They make a hot dog look all. Look how that hot dog look. Pigeon. But you better go get you a new outfit. Y'all can leave me alone. I'm going out tonight. Minding my business. Why you meddling, girl? What you filming me for? Are you filming me? Okay, guys, we've reached the end of this trip to LaHarve France. Make sure that you follow me on all social media at madam.bosslady. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends and family. And you will see me in the next video. Bye.